A win at last for the West Indies. A look at the scorecard will tell you that it was an absolute thriller. The ones following the game will tell you that it could have gone either way. However, the absolute critic will criticize the way both India and West Indies had batted out on that surface. This is the pre-show of the third T20I between India and West Indies, and I'm delighted to be joined by my distinguished guest, the very popular Joydeep Mukherjee. Thank you so much, Joyda, for joining. Now, Joyda, I
Thank you,
have a
Damini.
request. Before we
Yes.
begin, before we begin our discussion on this ongoing series between India and West Indies, a very, very important update to be given to our viewers is that it is an absolute historic day for Indian sports because it's a double gold day for the Indian contingent. The Indian ladies, the Indian women have won a historic lawn bowls gold, beating South Africa 17-10 in the finals. And just now, an update that the table tennis men's team has won a historic gold, beating Singapore in the final. So India is doing an absolutely brilliant job. They have now brought up their tally to 12 medals, which includes 5 gold medals. So they are doing a brilliant job. So Joyda, if I can request you to give you a little bit of your valuable thoughts on the Commonwealth Games.
No, I think it's great news. I think we want India to do well in every sport. Me being a cricketer, I'm involved with cricket, but I follow every sport. And sometimes I tell everybody that if we as citizens follow every sport, if we are there in the grounds, then the endorsements will come, then the television will come, then the money will come for the sport. So I think the fault lies with us. Because when there's a cricket game, there's 90,000 people. When the India plays football, there are 30,000 people. But when the Indian basketball team plays, there are 200 people. So if there can be 30,000 people when the basketball team also plays, then there will be endorsements in the ground. Once there are endorsements in the ground, the television wants to go. Then there are television rights. And that's how you bring money into the sport. So, at the end of the day, cricket is a 12, 14 country sport. This is multi-country. This is talking about hundreds of countries that play the sport. And it's highly
Absolutely.
commendable. It's highly commendable to be able to come and beat teams like South Africa, as you said, and other teams to get the men's gold. And, I'm in touch with some people. I'm in touch with people from RevSportz who are there. Boria is doing a fantastic job. He's there with his team. And everybody working really hard. Trisha and, there is Mama who's there, that Abhijit is there. Shormishta is there. So if you look at it overall, this is great news and the way RevSportz has been able to bring the coverage to us with tweets, with interviews, it has been absolutely stupendous, and it's great news. Great to hear we are going from strength to strength, and I think not too far away when we can do similar things in the Olympics as well. Neeraj has shown us the way.
Neeraj has shown us the way for the timing. It's the Commonwealth Games, and today it's been unbelievable. Lawn bowls, a sport which India probably didn't even know existed, has 4 brave ladies winning a gold medal. How great is that from India? And table tennis, India has always been brilliant, and today they were outstanding. Now let's come back to this ongoing series between India and West Indies. West Indies have finally, we can say, managed that win to give themselves some confidence, some belief that, yes, we can do it. So let's not be very critical with India for the timing. Let's have you, Joyda, talking about West Indies finally getting themselves a win, which is most important, as you have time and again stated that West Indies also has to come back to winning ways for world cricket to propel themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. As I said a little earlier, it's a 12, 14 country sport. You don't want, 4 teams really strong and the other 8, 10 lagging behind, because then there'll be 2 tiers in cricket, and it's too few. The numbers are too few to have 2 tiers in this. So if you want to make the sport really global, which ICC is doing a great job of, because there are many tiers behind this. Canada plays, US plays, Spain plays, Germany plays. How many people knew? There's Spain, Italy, Germany, and the Maldives play cricket. Malaysia play. Everybody plays cricket these days. So, but if everybody has to come to the first tier, then you need the big guns to do well. In West Indies, their legacy in the 70s and 80s, I've grown up seeing their cricket, and I feel sad when I see them struggle. Anyhow, India has won a toss and they're elected to field, so that is the latest update. But having said that, it was important for West Indies to win this game. One is that they are also getting their house in order, just like we are. So this is a nice series that's going on between two very strong teams. But at the back of this also is the fact that they are all getting ready for the World T20. So even for the West
Yes.
Indies, they are also getting ready and they are getting their house in order. So for them also to be able to know who they're going to be going with, who are their openers, who are their 3, 4, 5, who are their finishers, who are their all-round spinners, who are their fast bowler all-rounders, who are their frontline spinners, who are their fast bowlers. I'm told it's going to be a squad of 15 and 16 and not 20 anymore. So this is, pre-COVID days again back. So this is when you have to get it even more right. Because when it's a 20-member squad, you have a few you can play with. But when it's a 15 or 16-member squad, then you've got to make sure that the replacements are there. Because once you're there, injury, lack of form, unwell, whatever, indisposed, you cannot fly people from India to Australia overnight to play. Neither can people go from West Indies to play or from England to play. So everybody in the 16 has to be able to. So you will need a lot of multi-dimensional cricketers. People like Akshar Patel, who can bat, who can bowl, who can field. So that's the beauty of it all. Somebody like Deepak Huda, because he bats superbly, he bowls, he's a gun fielder. So these are the sort of cricketers you need because they can fill up many slots.
Absolutely. And as you correctly stated, that India have won the toss and elected to bowl first. So, Joyda, your thoughts? What do you make of this decision by Team India?
Yeah, I thought it's a natural one. I think you want to chase. India's had a bad game. They didn't bat well, and that can happen. They did well with the ball, which I stated in my post show yesterday, which the capsule that I keep doing on RevSportz after every match. When you lose in the 20th over, everybody might say it's really close, but it wasn't close. They were always going to win this game, and India needed a miracle. I know Avish Khan is getting a lot of stick for that last over, but anybody could have in that situation. It's the batters who faulted yesterday, not the bowlers. So sometimes when the batters really haven't done the job and then the bowlers come and make a match of it, but at the end, if they can't pull it off, the blame should not go on the bowlers. They have actually the bowling unit
Absolutely.
made a game of it yesterday. They made a game of a very small total. Normally, if the bowlers weren't superb, this game would have been over in the 16th or 17th over. And not only were they good, they were very good, which is the reason why it went to the last over. So the credit goes to the bowlers. They, in spite of such a paltry total, still they could make a fight of this game, which was very, very good to see.
Indeed, it was. And I also personally believe that, with our criticisms, we are getting extremely harsh on Avesh Khan, as you have also time and again stated that youngsters need time to adapt themselves. They need to be
And
given opportunities to express
some
themselves.
of the
Yeah,
stars of today have also been through this. If you go through the Bumrahs, the Bhuvaneshwar
indeed.
Kumars, the
Very
Mohammad
true.
Shamis, but our human memory tends to be short. We just remember what happened of late. So, there will come a time when Avish Khan will also be one of these, and we'll forget about that. But this is the finishing
Mhm.
school that all of them go through,
Yes,
and he is no
yes.
different.
Very true. Joyda, and a very important point that you just now highlighted, and I also stated in the start of this video, was that the batting has been a very, massively talking point in the second T20. With regard to Team India, they technically, made a meal out of their 20 overs, we should say. Then they didn't even play the 20 overs full. And even we saw West Indies, struggling a lot as they were chasing down this target provided to them. So how did you see this batting approach by both these teams? Of course, primarily with Team India.
No, I mean, there's no, they had a bad day with the bat, and I think just one bad morning doesn't make up all summer. So let's just talk about matches individually. India's batted superbly in the one days. It's just that in one game, I thought the bounce got to them. They started on the wrong note. Rohit Sharma went very early. Then Surya left, and I thought, Rishabh Pant could have taken a little more responsibility. 24 of 12 balls doesn't do the job. Hardik was 24 of 24. I thought that if Rishabh had probably taken a little less chances, batted a little bit longer, then maybe things could have been different, because you never know. Another 20 runs could have really made this game go India's way. But the brand of cricket India is playing the role that Rishabh Pant has been given. So you see the way he plays. He will one day get a 37 ball 74 and just blast everybody out. But how often do you do that? When we talk about a Virendra Sehwag or Rishabh Pant in a test match, it's his consistency that he shows, even while churning up those runs with those unbelievable strike rates. But if the numbers don't add up, if the frequencies are too vast and beyond, then there is a question to be asked. And I sometimes see Rishabh, and I feel that he was batting in the sixth over. So in the seventh over, he looked like we were batting in the 17th over. Now, I'm just thinking, if he gets out, okay, this one, and then if there's another wicket, so we will have our spinning all-rounders bat in the 11th or 12th over. That's never a good news. So if Rishabh comes and bats like this in the opening slot, I can understand that, because then there are 9 batsmen to follow. But if he's doing that at 4 with 2 down and sometimes even 3 down, then you've got only 2 more batters in the hut to do it for you. For some reason, it didn't happen for Dinesh Karthik. He's human. He's not going to do it every day. It didn't happen for the others, and we fell flat on our face. And kudos to our bowlers. They really made a match of it. This is a game which West Indies could have won
Very true. And Joyda, again, I'll repeat my question. Yes, you have answered it in previous shows as well, but this problem is something which Team India is yet to find a solution of. That Team India batters are still struggling a lot when they are facing left arm bowlers. And we had Obed McCoy in the previous match finishing with figures of 6 for 17 in his 4 overs. He completely ran over the Indian batting order. So what does Team India need to do to solve this problem of face left arm bowlers?
Yeah, left arm fast bowling is a rare one, because if you see in the history of the game, there aren't too many that have been greats. That's the reason why when they're good, they're very good. And Obed Makkah had a really good day yesterday. I think he got a lot of help from the wicket, from the space, bounce, a lot happening in the pitch, which helped him. And he also hit the right areas. On the same breath, I will also say that the Indian batters were very loose yesterday against him, especially at the beginning.
Very true.
I thought Rohit Sharma was loose. I thought Shreyash Iyer was loose, and he can afford to be loose because he's running out of time. You know, I thought if we were a little bit tighter, this was not a 200 wicket. This was probably a 160 wicket. We got to 140 and we almost made a match of it. So 160 would have been a really good game. So for 20 runs, sometimes when you start off an innings, you in the beginning you play a few balls and you decide, hey, Rohit went first ball, so you can't blame him much. But you just talk to the batters and say, hey, let's take a rain check on this, because this is not a 200 wicket. This is a 160 wicket. So let's re-strategize and play a little bit, circumspect. Take a little bit of time, because we are reassessing the situation. In the dressing room, we might have said 200, but that's when no ball has been bowled on the pitch. Now we're in the middle. We face a few balls. We are here. We are the best 2 people to reassess what is going on. And next time we have a glass of water, or there's somebody walks in with a glove, we'll send them a message back with the reserve play. Go and tell the coach or the batting coach or the management that this is, it's got a bit of bounce. It's stopping and coming a bit. So we are going at 160, 165 target. Sometimes on a 160 wicket, if you want to go and get 200, you can end up getting 140. But on a 160 wicket, if you try to get 160, you might end up getting 170. I know it's a little confusing. Sounds a little confusing. I say that again. So on a 160 wicket, if you try and get 200, you can end up getting 130, 140, because you've pitched yourself too high. Okay? I'll say that slowly and explain that. But on a 160 wicket, when you have a 160 target in mind and go, if things go well in the middle and the back end, you can end up getting 170, 175, some bonus. Because your approach is different when you go and play this game. I thought Indians went too aggressively in the beginning and in the middle, and they ran out of batting towards the back end. And then they played slowly. So I was saying to do the opposite. just play a little bit circumspect, build it up, and then go boom. Because once what happens, you go boom. If it doesn't happen, then you don't have batters. So ultimately, you end up playing slightly at a lesser run rate. So it's basically one after another. One you're forced to do, one you can choose to do.
This part was so brilliantly explained by you, outstandingly explained by you. And if I can take this opportunity to read out the playing 11s of both the teams
Sure.
respectively. First, I'll read out the playing 11 for West Indies. They go unchanged, and it goes as follows. We have Brandon King, Kyle Mayers, Nicholas Pooran, captain, Shimron Hitmeyer, Davin Thomas, wicketkeeper, Rovman Powell, Jason Holder. Oh, they have just now updated. Dominic Drakes comes in for Odion Smith. The update just comes. Yes, one change West Indies have made, that Dominic Drakes comes in for Odion Smith. We have Akil Hossain, Alzari Joseph, and Obed McCoy. That's the playing 11 for West Indies. And for India have also made one change. The playing 11 is Rohit Sharma, captain, Surya Kumar Yadav, Shreyas Iyer, Rishabh Pant, wicketkeeper, Hardik Pandya, Deepak Huda comes in for Ravindra Jadeja, Dinesh Karthik, Ravichandran Ashwin, Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, Avesh Khan, and Arshdeep Singh. So, Joyada, what do you make of this 1-1 change respectively made by both Team West Indies and Team India?
Yeah, it seems like this is more of an indisposed change. I think maybe there's a niggle, there's an injury, somebody's not well, indisposed, something like that. Because both these players easily make it to the level of the team. We know what Jadeja means to this team with his fielding, with his batting, with his bowling. So obviously, but for India, it's a good thing because the man who's come in has been in the form of his life, 100 in Ireland, waiting for his chances. He's a superb batter. He's a useful bowler. He's a gun fielder. That's not bad attributes to have for a T20 game. So this is. I mean, ideally, I would want to play Jadeja and Huda both, but obviously there are some compulsions, and we understand.
Joyda, even in yesterday's pre-show, Nishant had very correctly pointed out, and I would like you to also state. We had you talking to us about Surya Kumar Yadav and his struggles, but one batter from India who is yet to find his form in recent times is struggling is Shreyas Iyer.
Yeah, we've spoken about him yesterday as well, and sometimes it happens. He's a really good player. And sometimes it happens in spite of your best efforts, it doesn't come. And he's going through a phase like that. Dinesh Karthik has been through a phase like that. Rohit Sharma has been through a phase like that. Virat Kohli is going through a phase like that. So if these guys can, then what wrong is Shreyas Iyer done? So let's not get too much on his case. Let's just leave him alone for a bit because I've been through such times and I know nobody feels worse than the person concerned. And he knows that he's not doing what is expected of him. But the reason the team is also persisting with him is because they know what he can do with the cricket bat in hand. And ultimately, you always judge a player. You judge a person on his best day, you judge a player on his best day, never on his worst day. So I think they know his capability. And when the team backs you like this, it's easier for you to come back to form. Because the only way you can come back to form is by playing matches, not from the dressing room.
Very true. And since we have covered all the talking points from this important match coming up, so let's have you give us your matchup and your player of the match from this T20I. And do you believe that West Indies will continue with this winning momentum that they have gained from the match yesterday, or will Team India once again bounce back and continue their dominance in this series?
No, I think West Indies are back, and I'm glad. Sometimes it's just one win that you need to get the confidence. Everything happened for West Indies yesterday, but I will still put India ahead because I feel man to man, team for team, India is a better team. They had a bad day in office yesterday, which can happen. It's happened to all of us, and I think it's a fresh day, and they will learn from their mistakes. There's some experienced players. Rahul Dravid is there, so he will talk to them. They'll come out on all guns firing. Since India is bowling first, I also would like to feel the sort of start that they get right. I want the faster bowlers to have a good day. If the fast bowlers have a good day, then we'll have a good day on the field. And then as far as matchups, yeah, so my matchups are there, the West Indian batting against the Indian fast bowlers, because the spinners have done well consistently. We've seen that. And the man of the match for me in this game, I have a feeling is going to be, I'm just going to pick Rohit Sharma today because he's due.
And why am I getting this feeling that it'll again be bang on like your previous predictions as well?
Yes, let's hope so.
And well,
India needs that.
yeah, yeah. Sorry.
Let's hope so. I said, let's hope so. India needs that. He's the captain of the team. You always want your captain to be in belligerent form when you're going to a big
Absolutely.
tournament. Yeah, because what helps is decision making. Everything also is spot on then. See, when you have a captain who's struggling for form, sometimes his decision making can also take a bit of a pounding. So you want your captain always, even if not in the form of his life, always to be in decent form because that helps.
Indeed, and the first match he was outstanding. The second match, unfortunately, he couldn't click. But we all know what Rohit Sharma is capable of, and time and again he has shown his mettle. And with this, we come to the end of this pre-match show of the third T20I between India and West Indies. West Indies have finally got themselves a win. But Team India will be more than hungry to bounce back and continue their dominance. Thank you so much, Joyda, for joining. And along with this India versus West Indies match, do not forget to follow the Commonwealth Games as well. To you, Joyda, and to all our viewers, the Indian contingent is doing outstanding. They are still hungry for gold. They are still hungry for medals. And we, on behalf of RevSportz, promise to all of you, as we continue delivering all the live updates, we will continue to deliver live updates absolutely unbiased. Thank you so much, Joyda, for joining. Enjoy a good game of cricket and enjoy all the brilliant games Team India is fighting out for at the Commonwealth Games. Take care.
Thank you, Damini. You too.
Thank you.